Well, hello everyone. Hey, it's Linda Anderson here from Linda Lou Creates, and thanks so much for joining me. Yes, one sketch, soon to retire in colors, and I've got 5 cards. Yes, I only have 4 right here. That's because I'm going to demonstrate the 5th one for you. Mass producing cards, sometimes I need to. I think we all do sometimes, have some of those months in which birthdays are, there's a lot of them. So sometimes just to find a simple sketch and some colors and paper, pattern paper, you've got it. Lots of coordination here, lots of fantastic cards. Like I said, these are the soon to be retiring colors. So just know that if you like these colors and want, generally the cardstock goes super fast. Whenever the retirement list goes up, please scoop it up as soon as possible. Because like I said, these really go fast. We have the Cinnamon Cider, Bumblebee, Magenta Madness, and Misty Moonlight. So let me just show you then how I made all these cards. First of all, the sketch. It was a challenge last week for the group that I'm in. It's all of us demonstrators who have similar uplines. We are one big happy family, and I love it. So we do weekly challenges, and that sketch was one of our challenges. And to use the retiring in colors. So yeah, I kind of bent the rules a little bit because she asked for all 5 colors on one card. I decided to do 1 card. Well, 5 cards, 1 color on each card. So yeah, I'm kind of the rule breaker there. Just Jade is what we're going to be using. Then I'm going to be sharing. That's the 5th color then. The sentiment here, the first of all, you're amazing, came from the Hello Beautiful stamp set. And my flowers are this background stamp, Daisy Garden. I really like this one. You know me, I'm lazy. I don't like to color. So, and that one, you certainly don't have to. So another item we're going to be using are the in color gems. They're the square gems. So let me get through as far as all of the pieces and parts for everything. I like to start on the bottom, so let's do just that. I have my card base. It is Just Jade, my top folding card that I love to do. So that means it's 4 1/4 by 11. Inside, I just have a thank you also from that Hello Beautiful stamp set. And I just had a scrap piece of the designer series paper that's in those. Let me think now, it's 2020 to 2022 in colors. The ones that are going to be retiring soon. So I just plopped that right in there. So that on the inside is the same as this piece of white that's on the outside. It's 4 by 5 1/4. The piece that I'm going to be stamping my flowers on, this one is 4 3/4 by 2 1/4. And then I have a piece of Just Jade that is also 4 3/4 but by 2 1/2. All right, my designer series paper, it's double-sided, so you get lots of options there. And it is, the paper itself is 5 1/4 by 1 1/2. And my layer for underneath it then is 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. Let me just go ahead and adhere this down. I'm going to show you then what I did with the flowers to be able to mass produce. I love using a stamp positioning tool, and today I'm going to be sharing the Stamparatus with you then. So let me just go ahead and get this piece down. And then I might as well go ahead and adhere it straight down to this 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece that's going to be on the front of the card. So let me go ahead, just use my liquid glue so I have a little wiggle room on that. And here we go. All right. So got to get the cat hairs off of everything. I do have a sentiment that I've already stamped. This strip is 4 inches long, 1/2 inch wide. And then the Just Jade piece that I will layer underneath it is 4 inches long, 3/4 of an inch wide. All right, so let me go ahead. Yeah, remember there's always 2 sides to every piece of paper. So let's go ahead and get this put down. And this is kind of not what I always do, is the 1/4 inch margins. So usually I just do 1/8 of an inch wider or longer, whatever it is. So this was something different for me. So, all right, let me move all of this off to the side and bring in this piece of the white cardstock. This is the one that's 4 3/4 by 2 1/4. I'm also going to bring in my Stamparatus. I just want to share a couple things with you on what I do there. I'm going to bring in, I like to put a stamp case, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So, all right, so I already have my Daisy Garden stamp on one of the plates. All right, so let me just go ahead and pop that into the hinge. So this is what I mean. Let me move this over. I like having it so that I can rest the plate on something when I'm inking up the stamp. I just feel like it takes less stress off of the hinge here. Now, because this is a cling stamp, that means it already has some of that cushion underneath it. The red rubber is all known as cling stamps, so that when I use my Stamparatus, I can take out this black foam cushion out of here. So this comes out. It would stay in if I was using the clear photopolymer stamps. So that helps to give it that bit of cushion then that it needs. All right, this is especially whenever I am mass producing. I will go ahead and I'm going to just go ahead. This is just for positioning. And I'm just going to ink up my stamp here. I'm not going to get too crazy about having a good image, but you know you can re-ink and re-stamp. That's the beauty of the stamp positioner. So let me just go ahead, and I'm putting that down onto my piece of my the grid paper. So now this is where I'm going to come in with my strip here, the 2 1/4, 4 3/4. And what do I want? How much? Kind of eyeballing. What do I want to get stamped on here? I think I'm going to go about right here. Maybe over a little bit more. So I'm kind of eyeballing it, looking what I've got underneath. I also often like to put just a little bit of adhesive of some sort of a stamp runner, whatever you've got. And I'll even just kind of tap it with your finger just to get some of the extra stickiness off. The only reason I'm doing that as opposed to using the magnets is a lot of this is going to get covered with the stamp. So the magnet isn't going to cover a lot for me. It's not gonna, I'm not gonna have it to cover a lot of the cardstock, and I just don't want it to move in case I need to stamp a second time. All right, so I'm gonna go here. This is the portion on this side of the stamp that I'm going to be stamping on. All right, so let me now get going on inking this up. Okay, so like I said, whenever you want to mass produce, this works great than using the method of setting it down. What I often do too is, if I have a pencil, if I had a pencil, I would show you, but I'm going to use a pen instead. I'll even make little marks here and here on my grid paper so that I know where to put my cardstock then to get the same look each and every time. So if you're only making one, you don't need to worry about marking up your paper like that. All right, so let's see what we got. You know what? That is not too shabby. if I needed, I could certainly ink that up again, that stamp, and stamp one more time, but I'm okay with that. So let me close up things here and let's move on. I'm going to just move my Stamparatus out of the way as well. Okay, so let's finish making up this card. You have to watch where you have ink on your hands because you will get it onto your paper like I just did. So we'll deal with that later. So what I might do is just kind of trim that down. So if you don't mind giving me a moment, I want to see if I can just snip a little bit of that off. I did. So it is going to be a little bit shorter, but at least it doesn't have a big green blob on it. So normally, like I said, it's 4 3/4. I just trimmed off 1/8 of an inch there, so that it's now a little bit shorter, and we'll just go with it. So that's what happens when you do a live. Something always has to happen. So that was a quick fix though. So, and that's one thing with sketches is it's an interpretation of the sketch. I tell you what though, I feel like I'm very literal when it comes to sketches. So I like to do them sort of as they're pictured. And so that's just sort of my thing. But they are definitely just guidelines. So let's go ahead now and finish building up this card. So I'm going to take my flower and adhere it onto my card front. All right, I'm waiting for someone to say something about the purple fingernails. You know, I'm not a purple fan, but I went on Tuesday and got my nails done and I got purple. Can you believe it? I know. It is crazy, I know. So, okay, so let me go ahead now and get this sentiment stripped down. And, whoops, maybe we should have it going the correct way. I am very much, I like the dark nails. Black is my favorite fingernail polish color. So for me to have this soft, you know, subtle look, springy, Eastery, it's crazy. But I can't begin to tell you how many people have complimented me on them. And I'm like, but it's purple. So, and these people were like, yes. And they like purple. See, I'm with purple. So, all right, so here we go. Let's finish putting this down. And now the last little bit are the it's embellishment time. So I'm going to bring in those square gems and find my pick tool. I am going to use one of the larger squares and one of the small squares. I got to do this upside down, sorry, so I can see where I'm putting it. And now let me turn it back around. So there it is in green. So we have done one in each of the in colors. So let me bring the rest of them back. So here is the Just Jade, Cinnamon Cider, Bumblebee, Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight. So you got to tell me in the comments which color is your favorite of the ones here that are going to be retiring. So we have all 5 of them right here, and it's sad to see them go, but at the same time, I can't wait to see the new ones that are coming out. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me, guys. I really do appreciate it. And you know what? I really don't have anything else to tell you. So instead, I'm just going to say, I'll see you later. All right. Have a good rest of your evening. Bye now.